There's a moment in every rising star's journey when things shift, when they stop being one to watch and become something more, something magnetic, something undeniable. But what if I told you that moment didn't happen on a football field, or in a locker room, or even during a nationally televised draft? What if I told you it happened in a KFC parking lot? I know it sounds ridiculous, absurd even, like something made up to go viral. But this story, it's very real, and it marks one of the most fascinating turning points in recent NFL memory. Not because of what happened, but how it happened, and who made it happen. This is the story of Shedeur Sanders, the youngest son of Hall of Famer Deion Coach Prime Sanders, and how he pulled off one of the smartest, most disruptive, and downright brilliant branding moves the NFL has ever seen. And it all began with fried chicken. Let me take you back. It started as a family challenge, something lighthearted. Coach Prime told his sons, go to 3 different cities, hand out 250 KFC meals to the community, and connect with fans. A gesture of goodwill, a lesson in humility, leadership, and giving. Back simple, right? Wrong, at least. Not for Shedeur, because while his brothers took the challenge at face value, Shedeur saw an opportunity. A blank canvas, city-sized stage. Shiloh went to Tampa. Deion Jr. chose Dallas. But Shedeur, he picked Cleveland, a city bruised by football heartbreak, a fan base desperate for more than talent. They wanted someone who understood them, and Shedeur, he delivered. On paper, it looked like a typical charity event. Free food, smiling fans, some autographs. A few Instagram stories, but what unfolded in Cleveland was anything but ordinary. Shedeur didn't just show up. He activated something. He turned a casual food giveaway into a grassroots brand explosion, a live market test, a full-on emotional branding campaign designed, executed, and controlled by a 22-year-old rookie quarterback who hadn't played a single NFL snap. Let that sink in. This wasn't just community outreach. It was a case study. From the moment Shedeur stepped foot in that Cleveland parking lot, everything shifted. Fans didn't just show up for chicken, they came for him. The energy was different. People skipped work, brought their kids, wrapped around the block like it was game day. And the wild part, Shedeur hadn't done anything on the field yet. Not a pass, not a drive. It's not a single highlight in an NFL uniform, but it didn't matter because Shedeur wasn't selling touchdowns. He was offering something more powerful. Hope. You have to understand the context. Cleveland has been through it. Okay. Johnny Manziel, Baker Mayfield, Deshaun Watson. Every few years, a new name, a new promise, only for the cycle to collapse again. This fan base has been lied to, let down, torn between loyalty and frustration. So when Shedeur arrived, calm, confident, respectful, it struck a nerve. He didn't speak like a rookie. He didn't act like a kid trying to impress. He moved like someone who belonged. Not because he said so, but because people felt it. He signed every jersey, hugged every child, laughed with every fan. The while, he was watching, observing, learning. He wasn't just being friendly. He was studying the crowd like a CEO studies a product launch. Reading faces, measuring energy, clocking how people reacted when he spoke, when he smiled, when he led. That's the difference. Most rookies show up to wave. Shedeur showed up to lead. And just when you thought it couldn't get more calculated, it did, because amid all the love, the laughter, the chants of QB1, something unexpected happened. A heckler yelled out, "Joe Flacco, ain't it? We need Shedeur." The crowd hushed. Oh, that kind of moment can go south fast. A rookie throwing shade at a veteran. It's a headline waiting to explode. But Shedeur, he didn't bite. He smiled, grabbed the mic, and said, "Nah, Joe Flacco, that's my guy." The vet, much respect. In 10 words, he did what takes some. Leaders years to learn. He disarmed conflict, showed maturity, and honored a teammate without losing his shine. That's leadership, that's awareness, that's control. And it wasn't a one dash off, everything about that day was controlled, designed, intentional. Even the optics, Shedeur in his branded hoodie. Clean camera angles, team colors visible but subtle. The crowd always close enough to feel personal, but wide enough to feel cinematic. This wasn't luck. This was architecture, and here's why it matters. In the NFL, rookie contracts are rigid. Your draft slot determines your paycheck. Your endorsements come, if they come, based on performance. But Shedeur just threw all that out the window because he proved something before he ever picked up the ball. He proved he could generate emotional value, brand loyalty, economic upside, without even playing the game. Do you understand how rare that is? Most rookies walk in with no leverage, told where to go, how to act, when to speak. But Shedeur, he created his own leverage. By the time he gets to the negotiating table, he's not just talking about throws and reads. He's showing footage of crowds crying just to shake his hand. Merch sales before his first snap. Media buzz he didn't pay for. And in a league driven by TV ratings and jersey sales. That's gold, but beyond the business, beyond the optics, beyond the genius strategy, something else happened that day in Cleveland. Something deeper. For a few hours, a city believed again. Not because of hype, not because of stats, because a young man showed up and made them feel seen. Shedeur didn't just market himself, he connected, and that's why this story matters. Because in 2025, the best quarterbacks won't just be the strongest arms or the smartest reads. They'll be the ones who can carry a city, who can walk into a place full of heartbreak and give them a reason to believe, who can turn a parking lot into a pilgrimage. That's what Shedeur Sanders did. With 1 bucket of chicken and 1,000 unshakable fans, he changed the way we look at leadership in football. So as training camp begins and the noise ramps up, don't lose track of what's happening here. Don't dismiss this as hype, because Shedeur Sanders didn't just show up to play the game. He came to reshape it, and he's already 3 moves ahead. Take a look around the NFL right now. From coast to coast, there's a new generation of quarterbacks rising. All eyes are on Caleb Williams. All eyes are on Jaden Daniels. Both of them are gifted, no doubt. Both are loaded with potential, but there's something else too. They're under pressure so intense, it could crush a career before it even starts. Expectations sky high, spotlight blinding. Every throw, every quote, every public moment dissected, debated, doubted, and then there's Shedeur Sanders. He didn't just show up in Cleveland, he made an entrance. Like a man who already knew who he was. It's like someone who's not hoping to lead, but ready to. And that energy spread fast. Because Shedeur walks like someone who's done this before. He talks with a calmness that doesn't scream arrogance. It radiates conviction. He connects with fans like a seasoned pro. Not because he's trying to go viral, not because it's in the script, but because it's real. This is the kind of debut that makes you stop and think, maybe this isn't another false dawn for Cleveland. Maybe this time, it's not just hype. Maybe it's finally real. And let's not forget, Browns fans have been through it. They've ridden this roller coaster before. They've been promised the moon, only to be left in the dirt. Quarterback after quarterback, slogan after slogan. Yeah, the pain runs deep. But this time, it just feels ... different. Maybe it's the name. Sanders, a name tied to legacy, to swagger, to excellence. Or maybe it's the way Shedeur handles the spotlight, not dodging it, but owning it. Or maybe, just maybe, Cleveland finally has someone. Who doesn't just want to wear the jersey? He wants to embody the city. Now let's talk about that moment. You know the one I'm talking about? The viral KFC giveaway? 250 meals, a parking lot packed with fans. Some saw chicken, some saw PR, but those who really watched, they saw something else entirely. They saw a moment of connection, of cultural fluency, a rookie quarterback who hadn't even played a snap yet, rallying an entire city around a fast food event. Not by accident, but by design, because that wasn't about free food. That was about presence, about intention, about showing Cleveland, I see you, I'm here, let's do this together. And that's leadership before the huddle. Shedeur Sanders didn't just come to play football. He came to build something bigger, something lasting. He's not just a quarterback. He's a musician with actual bangers on Spotify, a digital creator with millions of followers, a modern athlete who understands that the game isn't just played between the whistles, it's played online, in culture, in hearts and minds. And here's what sets him apart. He's not waiting for the NFL to mold him. He's arriving fully formed. Teams have spent decades trying to shape their rookies into marketable stars, coaching them not just on how to throw a ball, but how to answer questions, how to smile, how to represent the brand. But Shedeur, he is the brand. And not in a shallow influencer way, in a strategic, generational vision kind of way. Because the Sanders family isn't playing checkers. They're playing chess. They're not chasing endorsement deals. They're building an empire, one that fuses sports, music, media, community, and legacy into a single unstoppable movement. And Shedeur is the crown jewel of that blueprint. He's got the arm strength, he's got the pocket presence, he's got the charisma, but above all, he has the awareness, the understanding of what it means to lead, not just a team, but a city, and Cleveland is ready. Because that moment at KFC, that was more than marketing. That was a statement. Was leverage. That was branding at its most powerful, a rookie commanding the emotional loyalty of thousands, without ever stepping onto the field. And that's why league executives are nervous. Because how do you quantify that? How do you put a number on a quarterback who can throw a touchdown and trend on Twitter in the same hour? Who can lead a 2-minute drill and headline a Spotify playlist? They're realizing something new. Maybe the most dangerous player in the league isn't just the most athletic. ... Maybe it's the one who understands narrative, because Shedeur didn't just throw his name in the mix. He threw down a gauntlet. So now, all across the league, from New York to LA, from front offices to locker rooms, there's a question echoing louder than ever. What's that really worth? And for Cleveland, it could be everything, because this isn't just about a promising Sunday. It's about relevance, about belief, about pride. This is about a city that's been overlooked, laughed at, doubted, suddenly holding a torch again. A city that watched a fast food parking lot fill up like a stadium because someone made them feel seen. That's not marketing. That's movement. That's what Shedeur brought with him. And now, let's talk defense. Because this team isn't just building hype. They're building something real. Myles Garrett, for years, he's been elite. But now, he looks like something else entirely. A tone setter. A captain in every sense of the word. Someone who doesn't just disrupt plays, he demands a standard. And beside him, Mason Graham. This rookie doesn't play like a rookie. Plays like someone who knows he belongs. Every rep is sharp. Every move has purpose. You put him next to Garrett in a Schwartz-designed defense? You're looking at a 1-2 punch with real bite. Graham is already finding space, exploiting gaps, soaking up mentorship, and returning it with fire. Don't be surprised if he's a household name before week 1. And then there's Carson. Schweisinger, 90 solo tackles last year. That's not a stat. That's a warning. He's got that old school linebacker DNA, instincts that can't be taught. And the coaching staff sees it. The vets respect it. He doesn't need to say much. The way he plays speaks volumes, and even though Jock might not be on the field yet, he's still in the mix, leading in meetings, mentoring behind the scenes. Adding energy the stat sheet will never capture. This defense? It's becoming a brotherhood. There's cohesion, there's fire, there's identity. And that brings us full circle back to Shedeur, because he's not walking into this like it's all about him. He's listening, learning, respecting those who came before Dot, and that's earning him trust. Fast, Kevin Stefanski sees it. The locker room sees it. Okay, yeah? They're starting to believe. Let's talk about the trenches for a second. Joel Bitonio is back, and that matters. A leader, a fighter, a man who's been through the highs and lows with this team and still shows up ready to protect the line. The quarterback room is heating up too. Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, both young, both hungry. Who do you want to see take the reins? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from you. Because while this offensive line is leaning into its gritty, it's punch you in the mouth, identity. The quarterback position. It's transforming. Stefanski's message is simple. No wasted reps. Every snap, every drill, every throw, it all counts. And the vibe in the room. It's not toxic competition. It's mutual respect. It's iron sharpening iron. These young quarterbacks, they're sponges. They're not just learning footwork. They're studying leadership, learning how to carry a locker room. And with mentors like Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Deshaun Watson around, they're not just dreaming of greatness. They're being groomed for it. And that's what makes this season so compelling. It's not just about stats. It's about storylines, chemistry, culture, because for the first time in a long time, the Browns have something that goes beyond talent. They have vision, and it starts with Shedeur Sanders. Thanks for rocking with me today. If you felt this one, hit that like button. Drop a comment below. I'm always reading them. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. This is just the beginning. I'll see you in the next one.